Hey everyone, it's Eric. I'm on my way to the river. I've got just a couple hours this afternoon. I decided I'm gonna get out and see if I can catch myself some trout on this beautiful fall afternoon. See you at the water.
All right, I got some open water. If you find open water here, you better fish it because you might not find it again for a couple hundred yards. I'm starting off today with this blob pattern. This pattern is dynamite for catching stocked rainbows and browns and brookies too. I just did a video about this a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't seen it, check it out right here. One thing that I like to do as the water temperature gets colder is put my heavy fly on my tag and run a small weightless or lightly weighted nymph on the point. That's because as the water gets colder, the fish go down deeper, they hug the bottom more, and I want all my flies to be in their level, in their feeding lane. If I put my heavy fly on the point, my tag doesn't really ever get close to the bottom, and so I can't effectively show them both flies, even if I'm fishing a 2-fly rig. It's amazing how many times if I run an attractor on the tag and the little natural nymph on the point behind it, that attractor gets their attention and then they eat the natural behind it. There's one. Oh, that's a good one. Make sure I don't have any trees above my head. I got a 6X tippet on. There we go. All right. One thing I try not to do, especially while nymphing, is cast while I'm walking. So I'll move as I'm preparing to cast, but when I'm ready to fish, my feet need to be stopped and they need to be grounded. Balance is key. There's one. Little guy. I think he's on the egg. Brown trap. All right. Thank you, buddy. Right there. That's a good drift. Good spot. There's a fish. He's sitting right on the face of that rock. All right. Just had to get it in front of him. Might be the best fish of the day right there. If you like today's video so far, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and that way you'll get all the videos that I make as soon as they come out. Thank you. Now, as the air temperature gets colder outside, I need to keep an eye on what the water temperature is doing. You can see it's 60 degrees right now, the air temperature. My guess is this water is going to be down closer to, yep, there you go, 54, 53. That's important because as that water temperature drops, the fish are going to move into different spots on the river. Always a good idea to check your water temperature. Okay, I've moved down to this deeper spot. You can see I've got my blob back on, and I've got a size 20 France midge olive with a pretty big bead on. Be surprised if we don't pull one or two out of here. Much rather have a downstream breeze than upstream. Downstream, as long as I keep ahead of my flies, it really doesn't mess my drift up too much. There's one right there. On the egg. Rainbow. Even though it's mid-November, because the water temperature is 54 degrees, these fish are still sitting in the faster stuff. I thought the water would be colder than that, but they're sitting in the current, which tells me I need to work my way up through here instead of down into the deep stuff, because there's probably another fish or two sitting there. I keep catching them in the fast stuff. We're going to keep fishing the fast stuff. You want to look for patterns as you're fishing. If you're paying attention, a lot of times you'll start picking up on where the fish are and what they're eating, and once you know that, you can focus on those water types. The longer I fly fish, the more I find fish using a thermometer. Devin Olson's book, Tactical Fly Fishing, goes into a lot of detail about water temperature and where fish will be. The one caveat to that is stocked fish don't always follow that rule. The stocked fish aren't always smart enough to really do what they're supposed to do. But wild fish, they rely on patterns, on water temperature, on rhythms to be where they need to be to survive. That's how they survive. All right, let's try over a little bit. I'm not giving up yet. I still think there's one in here. Oh, mercy, that was a big hit. He whacked it and I pulled it away. Never quite got it in his mouth. Try that again. Dang it. There he is. On the midge. Just needed to see it a couple times. Brownie. That was not the fish that whacked it before. That fish was much bigger, but we'll take it. Guys, this is why I don't really put a lot of stock into the fact that my strike detection is limited fishing this kind of rig, because that was like a 7-inch trout. And if my strike detection was poor, I would not have felt or seen that take. I'm not saying it's as good as if your heavy flies on the point, but it's definitely doable. Okay, what I put on now is a jig breach pattern. This fly's been absolute money for me when it's been cold, when everything else is kind of shut down. Now the beauty of this pattern is its simplicity. It's got almost nothing on the body. Then it's got this pine squirrel that's just gonna keep moving and moving, and this ostrich herl. Plus it's very slim, so it sinks really, really well. But it also has lots and lots of movement. I'm gonna cast this over and across, jig it a few times, and then let it swing out behind me. Even when this thing sits still, it's not actually still. It's always moving, which makes it perfect to fish a slow, deep hole like this. As long as I can keep it from snagging on the bottom, we're gonna pick up some fish on it. There's one. Good one. Just picked it up when it got into that slow stuff. It's basically sitting still. Good fish on the jig streamer. Oh good, is it raining? It's definitely raining. This is my happy face. It's raining. Pretty soon, I'm gonna have this whole place to myself. Keep on raining, baby, keep on raining. Okay, we got our egg on. We're gonna see if this guy wants to play ball. I can see multiple trout sitting up there. There's one. Well, that's a slow drift, but I got it in there. Nice rainbow. Ooh, haha. There we go. Ooh. Oh. Shoot. I must have had abrasion on my tippet. Okay, I've got another blob egg, smaller, different color on, with a size 20 midge behind it. They want it. They keep coming at it, but they won't commit. Got it. I saw him following it. Never saw the strike. I saw him following it downstream. I just set that time on intuition. Oh. Sometimes you don't even see it. Sometimes you can just tell, have a good sense. There he goes. See you later. Okay, I've got a little bit smaller pink blob on my tag. Now I've got a size 20 hare's ear on the point, very lightly weighted. There's a lot of trout sitting in here, this really slow water. I'm hoping that that little natural hare's ear can convince some of them that were on the fence before. Oh, there's one on it. That they want to eat that little natural behind it. Got him. I saw him eat it. I actually set the hook upstream on him because I could see him. He was facing downstream when he ate it. So I set the hook the wrong direction that you normally would want to because I could see which way the fish was facing. Come to Papa. Hi, buddy. Thank you. That was fun. There we go. Nice healthy stocked fish. There's one. Real rainbow. We'll take him. Here comes the rain again. Fishing in the rain, fishing in the rain. I gotta love fishing in the rain. There's one. It might be a brown, but it's shaking. I think it is a brown. See if I can get him into this. Yeah, it is a brown. Pretty fish. Stocky, still pretty. Okay. We are quickly running out of daylight, but I believe there's still fish to catch. I'm huffing it back towards the car, hoping to find a spot that's not occupied, put a few more in the net. They've been cooperating pretty well so far today. If I can find a spot of water that's not taken up, I think we're gonna find some more. All right, we're running out of real estate. Running out of real estate, running out of daylight. I'm still thinking we're catching one here. So even though it's getting dark for me to see, trout can see in the dark much better than we can. Our eyes really start going downhill about this time, but trout can still see easily. I've caught nice fish on size 16 and 18 flies and darker than this. We got one up there, which means they're still eating. There he is. There's one right there. One for the road. Thank you, Mr. Brownie. Let's get out of here. Thanks for watching this brook to river fly fishing adventure. I hope you learned some things. I hope it inspired you to go catch some fish on your own. Now that you've seen me catch some fish, you go catch some fish. Bye.